So I'm drawing the opening scene of the book, and a storm is brewing over Shanghai. So I've just roughed the skyline of Shanghai in there from a photo that I took while I was there, of course. And I'm going to put some sort of perspective lines in. We're at a low angle, you see. So we're sort of down here, and then you have these perspective lines. And what I want to do is one of those great sort of looming clouds and a nice clean pencil line. So I'm just going to kind of rough out here. We start by just doing spirals of clouds. So build it up out of spheres. And I want to create some 3 dimensions to it. So just put lots of lines on the paper, and then we're going to have some angles across. It's very loose. And then we're going to put smaller details in front to make the clouds at the back look even bigger. And then of course you have the massive tower blocks. This is one of the tallest buildings in the world. I can't remember what it's called. And then start to sort of, you can see how I'm just kind of sculpting the lines. And as I go along, I start to see how I can make details, because I want to create layers going back. So this is just going to be really rough, and then I'm going to put it into the iPad and open it in Procreate and use that as the basis for my drawing. I'll probably still make a lot of changes there. But you can see how I'm not being too precious about the lines that I'm putting down. You know, I'm just really trying to keep it very loose and just do it with feel. And I think that's one thing that people miss out on a lot. I certainly did when I was younger. I was too tight. I wanted to get everything perfect. And now I just allow myself to let the pencil really just do the work. So we've got the front layer here of these smaller clouds coming through. And then we've got a massive big cloud at the back here, which is probably going to be like this. Also, it gives some shape to the start to imagine you're drawing a ball, or, you know, so you start to put some shape in there to help guide you. You've also got to think where does that cloud finish off? Which is always a bit of a tricky thing, is finding, you know, figuring out the edges of things, where things stop and other things begin, and how things overlap. It's really important so that they don't get too messy, which is kind of a funny thing to say because I'm deliberately being very messy here. Okay, and then you start to see that they're not all perfect circles, so I start to sort of add a bit more shape into them. Okay, so I'm not crazy about that shape, so I'm going to adjust it. So this is what happens as you go along. You start to see see where you could improve the composition. So I'm going to build that up a bit there. Right, and then these sort of towering clouds above. I'm just thinking about putting some more smaller clouds in front of them. Right, so now I'm deciding, I'm thinking, okay, we want to start drawing the underneath, so we're looking up at these ones in the background, looming up. I've been looking at photos, especially of volcanic eruptions and things like that, but again, not just sort of I looked at them and then put them away because, you know, I don't want to get too wrapped up in the detail. I just really want to let my pencil explore. I think that's really the fun of it, to allow yourself some freedom. So that's kind of coming. Some lines, so we've got swooping this way, back over the edge. That needs to come up here. then be prepared to make mistakes, you know, be prepared to throw things in there and see how it works. If you don't like it, you'll see. But you don't know until you see it. This just gives me lots of lines to play around with and work with. So I'm not crazy about those ones. And this is almost enough to give me to it, but I'll take a photo of it and then just put it into the, and open it up in Procreate.